Welcome, everyone. All right, so I want to talk to you about focus because focus matters. All right, plastic container. Ooh, we're focusing on the plastic container. Now, what I've realized and what I've been seeing lately that's been going on is people have been changing their focus in a more negative direction. Before I really get into the negative direction part, let me talk about focus to begin with. What is focus? Focus would be the ability to stare at this plastic cup for over an hour without you having other thoughts that pop into your head, where you can systematically use your brain and your eyesight and most of your body to do whatever it is you want to do with this cup, container, whatever you'd like to call it. Because what I've realized is when I was younger, I used to play with Legos. In fact, I actually loved Legos. And when I was younger, my mom gave me a Lego Star Destroyer that I was very grateful for and happy to get. But that excitement was also extended with 6 hours of nonstop focus. I had the ability to literally make this entire Lego set for 6 hours straight. Yet, when we're in school, when we're doing something we don't really like to do, our focus is completely wandered. Our focus can't even stay focused. We can't even get into the flow for that long. It's like a 20-minute, maybe 15-minute like buzz of like, all right, we're going to do this. And then instantly you go, whoa, I got this to do, or I got this to do. Oh, I could text this person, or I could do this with a person. And what I realize is that we need to change the way that we can use our focus. A lot of us are using this focus, again, like I said at the beginning, towards a negative hate ball. Oh, the government's garbage. These cops are lying to us. There's such a focus on the government, focus on all these negative entities that they want you to focus on. Because see, society is making you want to focus on other things besides what you want to focus on. Okay? And what happens is that when you focus on all of these bad and negative things, you miss out on volunteering, trying to help, trying to make a difference, trying to do something that would make it positive, trying to change and putting it into a positive mindset aspect, point of view, so that, yeah, you're right, there are so many negative things going on in the world, but you yourself are actually attracting that because you're allowing all this negativity to happen, because you could make a change. But here's the real question. Do you have millions and millions of dollars? Do you have millions of viewers and followers that you could influence? The answer is probably no. And this isn't well, if you don't have those, well, then you're screwed. Because that's not true at all. You have all of these things that you could be doing to better mankind, to better yourself, to continue enlightenment, which is what we're here for. But we get so distracted on all these other things that happen in life, scarcity of money, scarcity of war, and all this hatred boiling up on TV and the news. Cops is a good one. Cops against different races, excuse me. All of these things on the TV and all these things that you hear in our online, Facebook, that's trying to wean you and change your focus instead of trying to be volunteering and helping and going, you know what, the world is still kind of a good place. Because let's be honest, yes, there's all this negative, but you're focusing on it so much that it is actually pulling away from the fact that there's like millions of things that these people are doing that is actually helping and trying to save the planet and the earth and us and try to help us grow. And so what I'm urging you guys today to do is to change your focus. One way of being able to do this would be reading books. Because the difference between reading a book and being on your phone and watching is that watching your phone and watching a game on your phone is actually quite easy. It's not, they specifically make them so that it's addictive. It's the continuous dopamine hit. Kind of the thing with what we're doing with our attention span as well. Like, ooh, this is shiny. Ooh, this is shiny. And it's a continuous hit. We can't focus on something and go, well, this is shiny, but, oh, wait a minute. It also screws. We don't take the time to really divulge ourselves into focusing on one thing and sticking to it for a very long time. And I think that in turn is actually making us more impatient. And this is, I think, also in part of why we want it now. It has to be now. And when it doesn't happen now, there's no convenience. There's no quickness to it and speed. Our focus starts to dwindle. And I think all of these things that are popping into our life are trying to change our focus and keep us where it's a consistent, like, focused state where we can't just relax and focus on one thing and enjoy it. Be present. And so my little tidbit for you that I'd like to leave off with is this. When you read these books, when you try and focus on a task for longer than however longer you would normally be on your phone and then get bored, or normally do homework, or normally read a book and get bored and then just quit. I want you to try to stay focused, try to stay and try to change the point of view that you have so that way the focus can be stayed onto this one object and that you can have this focus for a while. right? Because a lot of us, when we're working as well, our focus completely changes. Maybe the workplace needs it so that our focus continuously changes, and that's good. But what happens when you start to get sick of changing it back and forth? You may pull up your phone, you may go on the internet, you may go on Reddit to try to alleviate this stress because the focus is so much on thinking that, yeah, I'm going to look at this, and then look at this, and then look at this, look at this. That the issue is that when you do that, that's when you start getting those behaviors. You can't just be patient. You can't just wait. The focus just can't be there. And so then the very, very last thing, I guess, because this is kind of like the little last thing that's in my mind, is there's this thing called the flow. Your phone doesn't allow you to do the flow. Reading almost gets you to the flow. But working gets you into the flow. And let me kind of expand on that and unpack it so it gets you a better idea. See, what the flow is it's not something that's like super dumbed down like a video game, but it's not so hard as like being, I guess, we'll use the example being a president, okay? And so what you need is to have a middle line where it's challenging, but not so challenging that you go, oh, well, this is impossible, I can't do this, because then your focus gets diminished. And this is what happens in schools. We go, oh, and then we're screwed. It's literally what our brain does. We may not say that, but that's what our brain does, and we quit, and our focus isn't there anymore. But if you can get your life into a flow state where it's not super easy, but it's also somewhat hard, then you'll continuously be in this flow state. And what I mean by that is the focus will be constant. You won't be going like, oh, I left my keys there, or oh, this person's wondering about me, or having all of your mind going nuts with the thoughts. And so this is another way to change the thoughts, to change the focus. I hope that all helped. See you later.